In this lesson, we'll add some detail to the landing gear. So the idea with the landing gear is that basically just a section of this pod extends down and it actually can sit on the ground. And so right now we just have this basic piece that we built all the way at the beginning. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to Mesh, Axis Center, and I want to center axis to center our pivot here. And I'm just going to kind of pull it down. So let me kind of move it down. And I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. And let me actually come in here and select the landing gear. And I want to go to coordinates. And I'm just going to freeze all the transformations. Now I'm going to pull it down and rotate it down. Okay. And come to the kind of the side here. And I'll kind of move it back a bit, but I want it to be sort of oriented so that it's kind of on the ground. Okay, and it can be a bit closer. Okay, so something like that. Let's look at the area inside here first. So we need to create an interior for this. So let's go ahead and select the pod main. Let's go to edge mode. And let's go ahead and just select all of these edges all the way around. So I'm just shift double clicking. Let's now go to extrude. We'll extrude that in, or out rather. Let's change the angle so that it's going up and in. And we'll change our offset a little bit. Okay, and we can give it a couple of subdivisions and extend that up and in. Okay, could modify our angle a little bit. So kind of the same thing we did with the canopy. Okay, and if you want to close off the interior, you can do that too with another piece, just as we did with the interior here. Now for this piece, I'm going to go ahead and go to a polygon mode here. Let's go ahead and select all of these. Let's do an extrude inner. Give ourselves a ring of polygons. So I want to make sure that we've got all of the polygons selected here. There we go. Do an extrude inner. Okay. Now let's go ahead and extrude everything. And we'll extrude that up. And we've got create caps on still. So that's something to be aware of. We'll keep it with 2 divisions. Okay, now we can start to create some detail in here. So let's go ahead on the back end, come in here and let's actually extrude this up. Okay, and I want to turn off create caps so that we don't leave geometry behind there. And then we can come in here and let's actually just scale this down to kind of flatten it out a little bit. Okay. And then let's go ahead and grab some of these up here. And let's do a simple extrude. Again, extruding that up. This time, let's just have 1 division here. Let's also add a little bit more detail up at the top. So let's take these polygons and then these polygons in the front. So something like this. Let's do an extrude inner. Okay, so we get something like that. And then let's do an extrude. And we'll go into the surface a little bit. And just add a little bit more interest to the shape. Okay, we can go ahead and drop in our hypernerbs. So if we select our object, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in right near it, and then we'll drop the landing gear underneath it. And if we need to, we can use our knife to sharpen up any of these areas, but I just want to get a little bit of detail in here to hold this, to make it look interesting when the landing gear is down. If you want to, you can grab your knife, come in across here and kind of tighten things up a little bit. And now if you want to test this out, we can go ahead and see if we can stick this back up into our ship. So we can zero out these values here. And then if we need to, we can come in and just modify it just a little bit. So let me grab the actual polygon, and it needs to come up and in just a little bit. It's okay if you have a little bit of a seam there. It's not going to be perfectly tight. If you look on a car around the doors, it's going to connect inside more, and you're going to see kind of a gap where that metal meets. And so a little bit of a gap is okay. I'll go ahead and just kind of scale it up a little bit and just try to fit it inside there just like that. All right. So once we've got that main landing gear built, the next thing that we can do is start to add some pieces on this landing gear for when it's open. So some pistons and different pivots and things like that. So we'll go ahead and take a look at building that in the next lesson.